Starting off this wonderful game, we have an incomplete team and I only have 2 targets. Great way to start off a game.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
I'm going to go for my red. Estes is going to help me, as he should, as is his
5
job.
seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
And Estes didn't get mask right off the bat, so I wound up texting him to either get mask or get lost, which led to me using Retribute late, which you'll see. Neither of the mages went bot lane. Eudora was the troll pick here, and she should have gone bot lane. If you're going to troll pick, you pick the lane that no one else wants to go. Though, you just shouldn't troll pick, obviously. You'll see I used Retribute late here. Estes is going to wind up having to go bot lane. Though, first we're going to have a little skirmish right where the Litho Wanderer is. I try and kill Zask's thing for the extra gold and XP, but nobody helped me with it, so I just left it, because if I took too much damage, I wouldn't be able to take blue. Still, neither of the mages decide to go bot, so Estes winds up soloing bot, which is very unfortunate for Estes. It means he can't do his job. I never used the scrolling thing to see people on the map, so I never saw Jawhead's health. I just knew where he was on the map, and I knew that he was hiding behind his tower for the most part, and I didn't know if he had full HP, but knowing that he was hiding behind the tower, I knew I could get gold, so I just quickly got that. Then I decided to scout, see if I could get in position for a kill, only to realize that he actually was low, and so I just went and got the kill real quick. Cleared the lane, tried to clear the tower too, since I knew I had just killed him. Nobody should be showing up, except for Hayabusa, which is expected to some degree, but Hayabusa can't take 2 people on. His ult doesn't work like that. Not only that, level 4 Hayabusa's ult is really weak, so I knew that we could take him if he tried to push it. I actually leave the minion for Uranus, because I would actually just make waste of it because of my dagger. So I actively try and leave any minions I can. Here, I knew Hayabusa was going to be coming through because he was in the area, and I knew he would be jungling, trying to get his health back, whatever. And I knew that it's better to stay in a bush to try and defend Barza if at all possible. Staying in a bush where a squishy is nearby means that you effectively defend that squishy. It helps them because you're protecting them, and it helps you because if they don't know you're there, it makes it easier for you to get the jump on them to get an extra kill, and you're effectively using your ally as bait, but you're also protecting them. Here I try and kill Ruby, but she has Purify and way too many dashes, and I can't get in for that. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that, but I do know she can't defend the tower. So I try and get as much gold from that as possible. It doesn't work out. Minions die. So I try and get the gold thing, but I see Ruby try and base there, and at that moment, I just assumed 3 other people were showing up, because if you base in front of somebody and you're showing that you're basing, it usually means that you're trying to lure them in. Here I see that they're getting into a skirmish. I saw that Zask's health was low, and I wanted to assassinate him, but he got way too far in the back. But being in the bush, Hayabusa tried to go for Barza, so I managed to deal with him, protecting Barza, and getting another kill. It benefits both parties when you do that. Try and do normal jungle rotations. I see people top, people bot, and I could go bot, but that's a tank, not a very easy target. I also see no one's defending mid, so I clear the minions. If nobody's clearing the minions, better someone does than no one. It's already time for my jungle rotation. I see that Zask is up there, and I know that I can't do much. I also know that I'm not going to get there in time, and so it's better to just jungle. Try and get my gold up, make it so that I can get kills easier. When Uranus starts to go in, I can see 3 people, but I also see Hayabusa in specific, so I try and go for it. He dashes away, but I realize that I'm right next to the gold, so I just take that and leave. Then I go into the bush, I try and turn around, see if anybody comes for it, only to get hit by him. I managed to get away. try and clear the minions, try and keep things going. I see that they start taking it, like, I take a glance at it, I'm like, wait a minute, they're taking gold. So I just walk up to it, retribute it, walk away, or dash away. Clear lane. Me and Uranus are buddy palling together here, so I know that we have enough physical force to try and push this. If they try and take me, I'll kill them. I have my ult. I even say ultimate ready, because if any one person tries to stop us, they're dead. If multiple people try and stop us, Uranus will hopefully be able to protect me well enough to get away. I noticed that a bunch of people cleared bot and are headed towards bot, or cleared mid and are headed towards bot. And I see Jawhead, but I also know that Uranus is going to get him to go away. And also, I'm pretty sure Jawhead doesn't even know I'm taking Turtle, so he's not going to try and dive it. I managed to take that right out from under his nose. I see that they're getting hammered bot, but I also see that there's 3 people bot. So I assume I can take mid to effectively make use of their loss, but that doesn't wind up working out. So I try and go bot, see if anyone's low. No one is, of course. So I leave, because I couldn't get my ult off on anything without dying to Zask. I fail dashed through the wall. I was going to take the green, but then I decided to look, see if I could get into that bush where Uranus would be taking on Ruby. I also see that Ruby is still taking on Uranus, and I know that I could easily deal with her. She purifies, but it doesn't do any good. I saw that Zask's spawn was there when I tried to get into position to take Ruby, and I knew that Ruby would see me coming if I did that, so I just didn't, and I decided to take green. Because again, if they see you coming, there's no point in hiding in a bush, because a lot of people, once you get to the higher echelons, take note of and have good memory of when you went into a bush, and will expect you to have been in that bush, and they either won't come out, they'll hide and try and prevent you from getting the assassination, or they'll just try and assassinate you before you can do anything about it. I see that we have 4 people here, and we should be able to push bot, but Ruby's preventing it, so I try and get behind Ruby to assassinate her so that they can push bot freely. I wind up running into issues, but I still managed to get Ruby, and we managed to get bot. Now Farz is getting hit by 3 people, and I saw that. I actually saw it as I was going to get Ruby, but we managed to take a tower, we managed to kill Ruby. The 3 enemies that went top managed to kill Farza and take a tower. Farza got up in a bunch about it, and I had to inform her that it was an equal trade, that one hero lost, 1 tower taken, the same type of tower too, the furthest out tower. So you can see me pause here because I'm typing to Farza that it was an equal trade. I then see that Turtle was taken and that Uranus was trying to do something about it. I try and go on about it. Me typing there actually may have been quite the detriment, and I do it again because Farza keeps moaning about her losses. I try and go in for whatever I can get. Estes saves me here with the clutch ult. Barely. And then over here I type about it again to Farza, and that actually might have been a detriment because I could have been around Farza attempting to protect her from that. And then I go in late, and there's nothing to be had at that point. Best to defend mid. Make your presence known if you don't want them diving. And if... Poor Hayabusa. I saw him on the map walking by. I think I actually saw him through the bushes, or on the other side of the bushes, because my allies were nearby. I'm trying to find a way to get behind so that I can get Zaz, because he's the one preventing us from taking the tower at this point. Yeah, and that's really the big thing for like the next 2-3 minutes of this game, is Zask is defending mid with everything he's got. And I need to find a way to get behind his spawn because he's playing extremely defensive. I try and just go straight for him and it doesn't work. Luckily they miss everything. And my Eudora wound up stunning Baxia, saving me. Farza managed to get Zask now that he was out of position. Because of that, they're able to try and hammer home mid, but a 4v4 fight doesn't work out well for them. They wind up losing Estes. which means that they can't stay there any longer. Estus is their only way to stay out of base for long periods of time, and it's just 2 mages and Uranus. They do actually wind up doing well, and I see that they're pushing Ruby out. I want to go assassinate her and get behind her. I managed to do that in Hayabusa. I didn't even know he was there, but, I mean, free kill's a free kill. I try and clear mid because for the millionth time I'm trying to push mid out because that's the only tower sticking out right now. You always want to hit the tower that's sticking out. It makes it so that you can systematically push them in further and further. If there's one tower sticking out, you want to try and push that tower in. So I try and get behind them because if Zask's going to play the long game, then I need to get behind them. I actually make a mistake here and I walk out of the bush right as the minions go by, which could have given me away. Luckily, no one saw me for some reason, and, well, sure enough, Zask pays for it. But so do I, because they did wind up seeing me coming. Well, they wound up seeing me kill Zask and made me pay for it. But because Zask is dead, now they have no defense, because other than Ruby, Zask was their primary tower defense. Without Ruby, because we have Estus, they're just going to keep hammering away at the towers. They don't really fear tower damage because Estus will eventually heal them. And so they just keep hammering away at it now that there's no burst damage to kill them. You could say Hayabusa, but Hayabusa can only deal burst damage to a single person. And there's no burst crowd damage. Baxia could try and go in with his lava, but that's not burst. Ruby is good at survivability and can deal continual damage, but that's not burst. Jawhead is single target, burst, but there's so many targets that Jawhead can't really do anything without paying for it. Ruby over here. I was trying to go for Zask, but I noticed that Ruby was going to be a problem if she got into the fight, so I decided to ult her. I didn't manage to kill her, and I didn't think I would, but I managed to get rid of her Purify, and I also managed to keep her from getting behind my allies and attacking them, forming a pincer, if you will, protecting my allies' backline. As an assassin, staying in bushes and staying around your allies means that you can also protect their flanks. I see that there's 3 people taking the minions there, and so I know there's only 2 bot and no one's going to show up. So I try and facilitate the death of both of them. I managed to get one, and I don't go for Ruby. I wind up paying because they saw me facilitating my attack, and so they went in. The team wound up getting all the kills eventually. The reason I didn't go for Ruby was because Ruby was in a 4v1 or a 4v2, but that's what me going for Baxia did, is it made it a 4v1. I knew that my allies could take Ruby, so I got rid of the Baxia that was in the back line. That way, we would be able to get both of them, because if I went for Ruby, Ruby would have died faster, she would have died more assuredly, but we wouldn't have gotten both of them. Baxia easily would have run away. So I went for Baxia since he was the only one potentially able to get away. I see that they're setting up an ambush there because I saw them go into the. I saw one of them go into the bush and I saw Baxia around there, and I see that there's only 2 up here. I don't ult here because I saw Hayabusa up here and he's my primary target. He's who I want to prevent. We get ambushed here. I managed to get away barely again. Estus saved my life, and Farza too. I see Hayabusa ulting here, and I get my blades out immediately and ult right, start spamming my ult for when he comes out of his. That's one of those moments where it's like, he didn't use his ult in all of that. No, because I saved it specifically for you, Hayabusa. I know Ruby can't defend this, but I take the tower first because that will facilitate her death. And this ult that's coming up, I knew that my allies would be able to get that, and I went in with my dash. I ulted him knowing I had my dash, and I didn't have to use my dash in order to get in, which meant that I could dash out of the tower. And I knew Eudoria would be able to get it with her stun and honestly, any damage that she was able to apply. Here, I'm trying to clear minions, but I'm also trying to wait and see if somebody comes out. They're playing extremely defensive because they see me coming, and I know that we're not getting in, and I see there's a tower sticking out. Like I said, keep pressure on all lanes. Eventually, they will become overwhelmed because they can't defend 3 lanes at once. That would require 2 people in 2 lanes and 1 person in one of the lanes. And if they did that, then we would just gank them. Once it gets to this stage of the game, you can't defend lanes unless you have everyone defending in the lane, or at least 4 people defending one lane and 1 person defending the other. But they can't defend all 3 lanes at once forever. And even if they can, then we'll just take Lord. But eventually they'll get overwhelmed simply by the fact that if they try and split up to defend, we'll just kill them. And if they don't split up, then we'll just take their lanes. I try and, again, protect my allies here by standing in this bush and trying to go for the ruby. But look at this. You can see it on the map. Talk about no map awareness. Here I am, way in the back, and my allies are coming from their inhibitor tower, and I'm just thinking to myself, guys, where are you? Granted, they managed to get 2 kills. They managed to kill 2 people in that little skirmish where I died. So they were busy, but at the same time, if anyone had come to help, that would have been another 2 or 3 kills, because the enemy was way out of tower, way out of line. Uranus, knowing he can just damage boost through that, deals a bit of damage. Estus finishes it off. They're literally forcing their way in because Estus can heal them. They are not scared of tower damage, and they wind up forcing it, sure enough. Saber's best attribute is easily hiding in a bush next to their ally and preventing other assassins. He is the ultimate anti-assassin. He also is good at getting rid of key targets to further the end of the game.